Welcome to the second part of the Microsoft Teams training sessions for digital care homes. In this session, we are going to look at setting up a meeting in Microsoft Teams and the features included. Arranging meetings through Microsoft Teams gives us access to more features than a call. You can invite external participants outside of the NHS directory, share documentation live with participants, collaborate on a wider level, and you can also record the meeting. The session will also highlight how Teams meetings interacts with the other Teams functions such as chat, files, and the calendar. To create a meeting, go to the Calendar tab along the bottom of the screen. This will bring up your calendar log on the left-hand side. This may be empty at the moment if you don't have any appointments or meetings in your calendar, but we'll see how this looks later after creating a meeting. Near the top left of the screen is a calendar icon with a plus sign. Tap this icon to create a new meeting. Your keyboard and the new event pop-up box will then appear on the screen. You'll first be prompted to add a title for your meeting. Then you can add participants. Tap on the arrow to the right to add participants. Click on Add and in the box, start typing the email addresses of the people you would like to attend the meeting. Once you've created a few meetings, Teams will recognise your most regular contacts and will make suggestions below, which can save time. Remember, you can also invite external participants to the meeting by typing their email address. Once you've selected your attendees, tap on Done and return to the new event menu. Now scroll down to the scheduling part of the meeting. You have the option to schedule your meeting for a particular duration or as an all-day event, for example for virtual training or an away day. To do this, tap on Start to select the date and time for when the meeting will begin, and then tap on End to select the duration of the meeting. The timings can also be customised for set times. Selecting the back arrow will take you back to the new event menu. You then have the option to save the meeting as a recurring event, which is good for a regular team meeting, for example. Just tap on Repeat to see options for setting the meeting as every day, every week, every month, or every year. After selecting one of these options, you'll then be able to set an end date for when the meeting should stop repeating. If you don't want the meeting to repeat, just leave the setting as Never. Tap on the back arrow to return to the new event menu. And lastly, you can add a description for your meeting. When the invitation goes out to attendees, they will receive an email and be able to read this description. Type your description in the box and then tap the back arrow to return to the new event menu. Once you've completed all the details for your meeting, tap on Done. This will send out an email to all the participants you added earlier, inviting them to the meeting. Here's an example of what the meeting invitation email will look like. It includes the meeting title, date and time, duration of the meeting, a description if you added one, and the conference call details, which is how they will join the meeting. There is a link to click on to join the meeting via the Teams app or through a web browser. Participants can also join a call via phone using the dial-in option and conference ID. This is useful if they do not have access to the internet, but it will be audio only. The meeting you've just created will now show in the calendar log on the left-hand side in the Calendar tab. Selecting the meeting will bring up all the details for that meeting and some actions you can take. You can edit the details by tapping the Edit button. This will open up a new window called Edit Event, where you can make any changes. You can also join the meeting from this screen by tapping Join. Alternatively, you can join through your Outlook calendar. In this screen, you can also cancel the meeting, and this will notify participants for you. You can also add or change certain meeting options ahead of the meeting. Let's look at these now. The meeting options are additional settings that help you to pre-plan your meeting. For example, Bypass the lobby allows you to choose whether you want attendees to stay in the lobby so that you can admit them yourself, or they can bypass this altogether. You can choose if you would like attendees to be able to present or share their screen, or restrict this to just the organiser. You can allow or disable the chat for the meeting, and you can allow or disable the reactions feature. When you join a meeting, Teams will open a window where you can set up your microphone, camera and audio settings before you enter the meeting room. In this screen, you can also choose to blur your background when your camera is on. Once you're happy with the settings, tap on Join and you'll be taken into the meeting. You can always change these settings once in the meeting, and this is done via the meeting control bar. As you can see, there are also other features available in the meeting room, including chat, participants list, screen share, raise hand, camera, microphone, speaker, more options, and leave meeting. Watch the short tutorial on the next screen, which demonstrates entering a meeting and the different functions within the meeting room using an iPad.
You may have heard one of the biggest catchphrases of 2020 is "your mic is on mute," or even a four-legged friend coming to say hello during a virtual board meeting. These are mistakes you want to avoid, and in this video we are going to take a look at Microsoft Teams meeting etiquette and how to utilize the functions of the control bar in your Teams meeting. To start, let's join the meeting. Before we enter the meeting, we have a preview window where we can double check our camera and audio settings. So as you can see, my camera is off, my microphone is on, and my speaker is on. If I turn my camera on, you can just about see me, but along the top, there is an option to blur your screen. So when I select this, as you can see, everything in the background is blurred. So I'm going to unblur my screen again, and I'm going to turn my video off. And now that I'm ready, I'm going to join the meeting. Once you're in the meeting, you will see a few options on the control bar. Let's start from left to right and discuss each icon and its function. The chat icon is a speech bubble. This is where participants can add to a chat or ask questions, and this is very handy if someone is speaking or presenting and you do not want to interrupt them. So I'm going to type hello and send that across in the chat. You also have the option to share files and media, and there are a few other options, but we will explore this in a future session. Let's go back to the meeting. The next icon is the participants icon. This is where you can view all participants of the meeting. You will be able to see who is invited and who is present. So as you can see, we're in the meeting at the moment, and I have actually invited myself through my NHS account, and I'm not in the meeting, but you can see that I'm invited. You also have the option to add participants to the meeting. Let's go back to our meeting. The next icon is the screen share icon, which looks like a box with an arrow going through it. Here you can share a PowerPoint presentation, photos, video, or even share your whole iPad screen with everyone that's in attendance in your meeting. To stop screen share, select the screen share icon again. The next icon is the raise hand icon. This is very helpful for if you have a question and you do not want to interrupt the person speaking. You can view who has their hand raised by clicking on the participants icon. Next to their name, you will see their hand raised. Once your question has been answered, don't forget to lower your hand by selecting the icon again. After this, there is the camera icon. This is where you can select to turn your camera off or on. At the moment, my camera is off, and you can see that because there is a strike going through the camera icon. The next icon is the microphone icon. This is where you can mute and unmute your microphone. At the moment, my microphone is unmuted, but when I select it, I get a little prompt saying that I am muted, and there is also a strike going through the microphone, which shows that I am on mute. If you select this again, a prompt will come up to say that you're unmuted, and as you can see, there's no strike going through the microphone, so I am unmuted. Next to this is the audio icon. If you mute this, you will not be able to hear any incoming audio. However, this can be useful if there are any technical difficulties like sound feedback. You can mute it whilst it is being resolved. Remember, when you unmute your audio, your microphone will stay muted. So if you need your microphone on, don't forget to select and unmute your microphone. The 3 ellipses give some more options. You can turn on closed captions, which will generate captions live on your screen. So as you can see, everything that I am saying is appearing at the bottom of the screen here. This also works for if a speaker is speaking, you will be able to see everything pop up along the bottom of the screen. I'm going to turn this off for now. The next option is put me on hold. You can put yourself on hold, which means you do not leave the meeting. You're on hold and no one can see or hear you. This is handy if someone knocks on your door and you have to answer it, but you don't want to exit the meeting. To return to the meeting, click Resume. The next option is the dial pad option. If your iPad is enabled to make external calls, you are able to dial a number and join a call with someone, and everyone that is in your meeting will be included on that call. Below this, you have the option to start your video with blur. So when I select this, my camera will turn on, and as you can see, my background is blurred. But for now, I'm going to turn my camera back off. The last option is to turn off incoming video. This will turn off other participants' video for you, not vice versa. This is very handy if you have a poor Wi-Fi connection. Turning off incoming video can get everything back up to speed. Lastly, the red icon is where you hang up and leave the meeting. If you accidentally leave the meeting, you can always go back to your calendar log on Teams and find the invitation and click Join. I hope this short video has been helpful. Thank you for watching.
If you need any technical support for your iPad, you can contact the help desk. The iPad is provided and supported by Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust. So if, for example, you get locked out of the iPad or one of the apps isn't working, please contact the service desk on the number provided or through the online portal. Queries or issues regarding NHS Mail should be directed to the NHS Mail help desk on the contact details provided on screen. For any training related inquiries, please do get in touch with the Design and Learning Centre. Our training sessions are available to watch on our YouTube channel via the link on screen. And if you would like to arrange a one-to-one session, please don't hesitate to get in touch with the Design and Learning Centre and we'd be happy to go through this with you. The next session will focus on chatting with an individual through MS Teams. Thank you for watching.